guys. Maybe I won't wear my hat today. It's kind of not bright at all. How you guys do today? Hey Oliver, what's up, brother? Let's go on a little walk today, guys, just for fun. It's been a while since I was down this side. They're doing a lot of new construction down here. Look at this nice place. Let's check out the new construction down the street that we talked about. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Just so you can hear me. Just making sure my audio is okay. It's a little cloudy today. Yeah, I've been working out, man. Eating a little better, working out. These IG walks. Yeah, I lost a little weight. I was never really fat, but fatter than I like to be, obviously. Oh, it's good to be outside, guys. I'm telling you, man. I used to be stuck in my office trading, over-trading all day long. It wouldn't matter about the P&L. It's just fucking, that's all I'm used to. What else am I going to do? So it feels great to be able to walk outside. This is what, the reason why I became a day trader, man, to have freedom. But then when I was day trading full time, I was a prisoner. I was not free. So doing these walks for you guys is actually helpful for myself. So thank you. Don't thank me, man. I thank you for being able to listen so I can talk whatever I want to talk about and exercise and get out of that damn house and meet people like yourselves. There's some great houses down here, man, on the end of our street. It's kind of gloomy though, see? Whoa, what's going on here? I think they're doing major construction down here, so I'll let everybody join in. How you guys do today? Today was a crazy day, man. There's a lot of stuff moving. Large caps, small caps, big caps, all sorts of stuff for everybody. Gonna go check out the houses down in my neighborhood down here. Hope you guys do well today. Today is the day that if you fought the trend, if you didn't have proper risk management, you're gonna get blown out of the water. You remember this house, guys? It was like nothing here before when we started doing the IG lives like a year ago. You remember I walked you guys down the street and said, this is a guy that, I'm not going to tell you who owns this shit. He has thousands of stores across the nation, man. So this is really motivating to be around this area. So that's why I said, man, hang around with guys with like-minded, good values. This is why MIC is so great, guys. There's so many great guys in MIC, positivity. No one's competing with one another, trying to sabotage, trying to pump and dump. Everyone's genuinely happy for other members, and they're trying to help other members get learning, And that's what I love about MIC, man. It's the positive attitude here. But look at these houses. This is fucking sick, Alex. Are you here, Alex? Look at this. And this is Silicon Valley, man. This is primo real estate. Oh, my God. There are guys here that fucking co-founder of Zoom, the software that we use. It's like all sorts of guys like that around here, man. Fucking landed on hundreds of millions of dollars IPO. And there's just no land. There's no land. So the land here is so expensive because there's just no land left. And you got companies like Apple and all these IPO companies, Silicon Valley. Let me take a look and just admire this, man. This is fucking phenomenal. And what the fuck? See, this guy is this guy down the street. Somebody bought this house like last year, and now they're renovating it. I mean, look, this fucking house. They're renovating this fucking giant house. Do you see that? They're seeing the neighbors come up and like, dude, what are you doing? You're adding another section, as if this house is not big enough. Hey, Zeph. Yeah, I want to wait for people to get in. I love looking at houses, man. I've been fascinated by real estate since I was a little kid. But you know what, man? You need money. But, you know, it still doesn't hurt to look, to admire, to be impressed about this architecture, about the people that live there and what it takes. I mean, I'm not envious of them. It's just kind of like, you know what, man? You're happy for these people. They're good people. So I'm not a hater, oh man. I'm fucking so happy when people, my friends, become successful. I always say, man, I always say this, guys. I want to be the poorest guy in the neighborhood. That means the neighborhood's doing fine. I never want to be the richest guy in the neighborhood. When I buy property, I'm like, dude, I want to buy the cheapest house. So this is the way I do things, man. Like when you buy a car, I buy the low. You know, I would buy the low end. If you're gonna spend all this money on the high end, might as well get the next model up. So I want to be I want to be the dumbest guy in the room. I want to be the poorest guy in the room. You know, that means I'm doing something right, man. The ugliest guy in the room, I don't know. Not at the club, then I'll never get any women. Dude, this is crazy, right? Look at this shit. This is like a hotel. This is like a fucking hotel, dude. These things are like minimum 10 to 15,000 square feet. 10 to 15,000 fucking square feet in Silicon Valley. Just a Tuesday motivation for us to work harder. Or better yet, just have friends. Have friends that live here, then we just come and hang out. But anyways, guys. Okay, let's get back to work here. Let's get back to work here, guys. Before we start, we just launched a new website. So check us out on myinvestingclub.com. Thanks, Alex and Fernando, on doing this. You guys remember, though, for those long-time followers of mine, I walked you guys through this like many years ago on my Instagram, before I launched MIC, before all this shit, talking about real estate. We're building this from dirt, man. It was nothing here but dirt. So we were building this thing forever. But anyways, you know, it's like a solid foundation. So the reason I bring it up, because trading is like building a house. It all starts with a solid foundation. The foundation of the house actually is the most expensive, the hardest thing to build when you're building a new residential or new commercial, because everything's riding on the foundation. If you have a weak foundation, it crumbles. You can have fancy ass finishes, fancy ass paint. If it looks fucking fancy, but the inside is not stable, an earthquake comes, even a small earthquake, it crumbles. Same thing with trading, guys. You need to have a solid foundation. Fuck the bells and whistles and all this fucking shit, people showing off, all this bullshit. That's why I always stress proper foundation is the key. And we created a webinar for those that are not in MIC. Just want to plug it real quick. myinvestingclub.co, not .com, okay? .co. And it will talk about, you know, it's a free webinar, 2 hours, and then you get some nice things at the end. So myinvestingclub.co. We are ready to pick the winner also of the free steak. I don't know who's going to be, where it's going to be, but the whole intention is not the steak. It's for us to fly out to wherever they are and hold a local meetup. Just to meet people, say hi. So with that in mind, let's talk about today. I want to talk about a proper way to short sell a stock. And we're going to start first with the wrong way. Well, there's no wrong or right in my opinion, as long as it works. Everybody's different. I hate using the word wrong, or, you know, I'm not here to bash anybody's methods and stuff, because, you know what, man, everyone's different, man. People bash mine. It works for me. It may not work for you, but the concepts are the same. Okay? It all begins with a proper process because you want to have repetitive, repeatable, systematic way to doing things. So that becomes like a reflex. I talked about this a lot on the trading fish way before MIC. I call it trading like a reflex. You know, like a reflex. If someone throws a ball at you, you're gonna move your fucking head. When you're a baby, you don't fucking move your head. You get hit by the fucking ball. And then the next time, you will move your head. You will learn to move your fucking head. So there's two ways you can do it. You can either learn by yourself that the stove is hot, don't touch the stove. Or someone can tell you and you can believe it. I did touch a stove once, but it was by accident. It was never on fucking purpose or because I'm stupid. I think it doesn't burn. I just didn't realize it was on, things like that, right? And so I always tell people, yeah, you can fucking learn on your own, burn your fucking hand, jump off of the bridge, and hopefully you not die. Or you can just, you know what, man? Learn from someone who has touched the stove, who has burned their hand, you know, who has learned all that on their own and then healed up and became stronger. You know, cut to the chase. You know, I didn't want to fucking learn all this shit by my own. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anybody teach me. And so when I started to short, I thought, okay, I'm just going to short any fucking stock that goes up. Because it's, you know what, the mentality is this for most traders that start out. Oh, the stock is too high. I must short it. A stock is too low. I must fucking go long. Oh, the stock is on sale. It's way low. I'm going to fucking load up. It's on sale. Or the stock is way high. I have to short it. But you have to remember, things that go on sale at a discount are sell for a reason. It means they're pieces of shit. If you go to the clearance rack, you know, you're buying fucking clothes that you like, but it's off season, something like that, right? That's why it's clearance. Or you buy a hot trending outfit. I'm just making this shit up. I'm not in fashion. But like a stock, you know, strong stocks tend to get stronger. Weak stocks tend to get weaker. And that is anti-intuitive of normal living. Everybody wants a great deal and all that stuff. But when you come to real estate and investing, you want to invest in an asset, in a product that's going to appreciate over time. Meaning it's a hot thing. So the number one rule of real estate is what? Location, location, location. And that's the same thing with stock trading, right? Location is basically the good stocks. If you want to go long and swing for your kids, you want to choose a blue chip. Not because the stock is cheap, you're going to buy it. You know, you're going to buy a strong stock and hopefully it gets stronger. Which leads me to shorting. Okay, we're not going to talk about long on this one. We're talking about shorting on this program. I used to just fucking shit that pops up. I'm like, oh fuck, it's up too much. I'm going to fucking short it. And I didn't have a plan. I just had a massive bankroll and I kept on adding. Okay? So, in the beginning when I was younger, I was like trying to muscle everything. Because I had big bankroll. How much more can it go up? But as you see, KRTX, fucking $30 to $150. NXTC, $17, $200. Tilray, fucking Beyond Meat. You know, these things will kill you. So then you start to learn, like you know, there's commonalities, right? And that's where technical analysis come in. What technical analysis is statistics. And when someone asks me all the time, do you guys use stats? Do you guys do historical stuff? Yes, it's all within the charts. That's one type of statistic, right? Technical analysis, you know, resistance lines, support lines, pivot lines, they're based upon historical data. It's basically a probability that the resistance means when you hit there, it's topping off. It's like the ceiling at your apartment complex, right? And so you jump, you hit your fucking head. But if you jump hard enough, you will break through the roof. And now you end up on the floor above you. And so once you break through, what was the resistance that you're hitting your head is now the floor, which is your support. So you can think of a support and resistance as an apartment building. And now you have stocks like KRTX where now you fucking hit the top floor and it's fucking flying, dude. It's fucking got wings. You don't know where the top is. Okay? If you're living in an apartment complex and it's a 10-floor apartment complex, you have, 9 of the floors ahead of you as a resistance. And each one of those lines, which one of the floors is a line? Okay? That's why I call it line. It's a resistance. The lines, it doesn't have to be every 10 cents. It doesn't have to be every dollar. You look back upon the chart and you figure out your own where the selling comes in, the resistance. But once it breaks the top of the building, dude, they call it the sky's the limit on purpose, right? And so KRTX, man, there is no fucking resistance because there is no prior data. And so those stocks are dangerous as fuck. When they break new high of day, you got to get the fuck out because pigs do fly, man. And yesterday it topped out at 100 and it dropped. So today I kind of shorted it at 100, hoping it'll do the same. But in back of my mind, if it did not do the same, I'm willing to stop the fuck out as soon as it broke, which I did for a very small loss. I lost like $400, $480, some shit, something really small, because I was only doing a filler trade on it. Very small trade. Because once it rejects it, I can add to winner. So to me, that was the proper way to trade because of this, okay? The poor way to trade would be to try to cherry pick the top. But if you have no data, how can you cherry pick the top? And that's why those stocks are very dangerous. That's why yesterday, so $100 is a mental resistance for these type of stocks that come from like $30. Same thing as a 30-cent stock hitting $1 and tanking, just like FCEL. That's why I always tell the guys, I'm waiting for these penny stocks to hit dollar land because that's to my advantage. That is a very well-known resistance line. So $1 for a penny stock and $100 for those. So yesterday it was $100. It went up and it dropped like 20 points right off the 100. Okay, at the end of the day, it did the same thing. And then they had an offering. But we don't know the price and all that stuff. And so people fucking massively thought it was the end game, but it wasn't. It got squeezed. But the point I'm trying to make is this. The proper way to trade those is to wait for the top to establish. And then you can scale up upon that previous resistance. Because what I want to do is this. I want to have the history show me what to do next. Because history repeats itself in trading all the time. And that's what charting is. Charting is a historical data of all the previous actions. And the only way we can kind of predict what happens is through the past. But if you're more complicated, you use advanced quant models and all this stuff, artificial intelligence, all this type of stuff. So it can get very, very complicated, but we are not at that stage. We're doing very simple things. I call it KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? And so the wrong way would just to try to cherry pick what we call the front side. But when there's a stock that has no fucking resistance, meaning no historical data, because it's at an all-time high, it's suicide. It's suicide. So I do not short stocks that are making new 52-week highs or all-time highs, even fucking worse, because there is no data for me to guide myself as to where the next resistance is. I want to trade very safely. I like boring days. I don't want to be a gunslinger anymore because heroes die, man. Fucking besides the Disney films, fucking heroes die. And so the way I like to short, if you take a look at my chart is on those, I wait for the top. I used to be gunslinger. I would make money, but then the problem is the one time you don't fucking make money and you do not stop out, you get your ass kicked. And so discipline is very important. You can short the front side. I'm not saying it's bad. I do it all the time. But I know where my risk is and I must stop out. So notice I stopped out. If you do not have the discipline, do not get in. If you don't have a discipline, you should not even trade. The first thing you need to do is develop a great risk management. And a lot of the times it's personality, man. I don't want to stop out. I don't want to take a loss. And that's where the tab comes in. Alex always reminds me, hey man, it's zombie hour. It's like you're breaking the rules. These rules are there for a reason. The most dangerous trade, I keep telling people, is a trade that you break all your rules and you make money. And then it becomes a bad habit. You do not want that. Take a trade, plan your trade, and trade your plan. And if you lose, it's completely fine. You stuck to the plan. And so the easiest way to short, okay, is this. There's two ways. Wait for the true backside. Okay, we talk about how to do that in the room. The death line is the line of no return. Once it breaches that, it's fucking, I see like 90% success rate on that. Okay, and you put a stop where it breaks back to VWAP. It's a VWAP reclaim. Okay, so that's how you trade the death line, guys. Okay, we talk about this in the room, but the death line is a huge, probably the best short indicator. Okay, because once it breaches that, and so not every day you have a death line because you need to have meat. Otherwise, there's no meat to fucking take advantage of the death line. And then where you stop out is the VWAP reclaim. If it that's where you should always stop out. If it fucking breaks down way low and then it starts to move up and it reclaims the VWAP, it means something's fucking wrong, man, with your short. It's like now the shorts are underwater, so you gotta be careful, and it's gonna cascade and trigger a bunch of short squeezes. So VWAP reclaim is a very great indicator of how to take the loss to stop out if you're shorting. And also, if you're long bias, remember, the long is the inverse of the short. So if I'm stopping out at the VWAP reclaim line, you should go long at the VWAP reclaim line. Okay, so that's how it works. When I talk about shorting, think about the inverse if you're long. If it breaches the death line, I'm shorting. If it breaches the death line, you should sell your long. You should not fucking think about bouncing it anymore, because every single bounce after that, shorts are trying to get in and back holder longs are trying to get out. So now you have a bunch of overhang, a bunch of people selling. It's basically a doomed stock. It's just too much supply. It's all about supply and demand, and there is no demand to buy unless the only demand is the short cover. Everyone's trying to sell that stock, okay? And so the proper way to trade is wait for the backside. Backside is very tricky, man. A lot of people define the backside as the VWAP. You can, if you are very good at risk management, you can just slam it and then get out. But the VWAP doesn't tell all. It basically just tells you where the volume weighted average price is. But what is that calculation? Is it intraday? Is it including pre-market? How about yesterday? How about the day before? You know, you can have big guys accumulating for days. And then you're like, oh shit, it breached VWAP. No, yeah, it did just for the day. But most of the volume was yesterday. And it's low. You see what I'm saying? So be very fucking careful about you just blindly using VWAP as that. But it comes down to risk management. So the way to properly short, to be safe, I hate using the word properly in this case because who knows, right? You're leaving a lot of meat if you don't short the top, but fuck, you also risk taking your fucking ass beaten by shorting a strong stock. So what you do is you wait for the fucking either death line, but I like to do this. This is a mixture of both, like harmonious balance. I like to see the top form for it to drop, and then I scale back at that previous high. Simple as that, guys. Not easy. Simple does not mean easy. Simple means the concept is simple. I can explain that to my mother, my grandmother, my dog, you know, my whoever, dude. My girl, my side girls, whatever it may be, right? My sugar babies, whatever it may be. But you see how simple that is. You basically wait for the top to form and you short the bounce. You know, that's the most easy way, in my opinion. Not simple. The most simple way to short. Do not try to cherry pick the top. We have strategies. I call it the first resistance. I don't want to get into that because if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know, you can get trapped as well. But basically, the first time it hits a major resistance, I love to short that because it usually it gives a little retrace and I just make the money off that. It's a very high probability of trade. And sometimes it fucking is a true reject line too. But the easiest way to do it, the most simple way, is to wait for the top to form and then short the bounce. What Alex did great today on SAEX is he basically told me, Bao, this is my niche. I don't care if I pay 25 cents a locate. He paid 25 cents a locate, man. You know how much that money that is? He paid 25 cents a locate. And I was too cheap. And I was like, how do you know that this is a play? Because I'm like, dude, I'm already down 25 cents. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if I get squeezed. So in my head, I was already scared. And he told me this is our niche, and here's the reason why. He talked about, we looked at the filings. There was a shelf, an effective shelf, and also an ATM from last year. And I'm like, it was from last year. I don't know who's. So basically what happened, so he put the clues together. He also said, not many people can short. Okay? Which is a great thing because it becomes now an overcrowded long. So when things are an overcrowded short, it's when stocks are easy to borrow, ETB, we call it easy to borrow. Whenever I say ETB, it's also easy to blow up. Okay, because the shorts are fucking hammering in. They think it's too high. And that's why these stocks like KRTX is running like that. It's like easy to borrow today and yesterday. And the same thing with that stock today. It was like MYOV, which we shorted to. But you notice where I shorted that. I waited for the top and I scaled it and I got out. That's it, nail and bell. But you see, those are all easy to borrow. I call those easy to blow up. Because what happens is now you got an over flooding of shorts thinking that the stock is too high. And that, my friend, is the wrong way to trade. Okay? It's a fucking wrong way to trade when you think a stock is too high and you just randomly get in. And you have no thesis, no backing behind it. The stock is at a 52-week high on KRTX. It's like if you fucking just randomly shorting this shit at $100, $110, where's that shit at? $150? Where's that KRTX at, guys? It hit like almost $150 before it left. It was fucking crazy, man. Yep, MYOV was 16 and 17 resistance lines we talked about. But you see, all I want to tell you is like, man, don't overcomplicate this stuff, guys. Do not fucking overcomplicate this. When I was younger, I always overthought and said, hey, maybe they're faking me out. Reverse psychology. Maybe this, maybe that. Trade what you see. At the end of the day, trade what you see. Put the pieces together. Sure, the stock is not going to go straight down right away. It may fake you out a little bit, but but SAEX, man, holy shit. So that's a huge learning lesson for you guys. It's like overcrowded long. Everyone's hoping that would be the next KRTX. Fucking went up to 450, 447. I would have got the fill. Alex, great job on that. And he fucking wrote it all the way down for $1 something. It's fucking phenomenal trade, Alex. He had conviction on it, but he didn't blindly was convicted. He knew it was in his niche. He knew this was a stock that he traded in the past successfully. And every time, not every time, but most of the time, it did this. It would tank. And so this time, for some reason, the short locates were fucking so expensive, man. So I was like, I passed. Alex didn't pass. He had confidence in his process. And so that's what I want to talk about, process. The reason why Alex is willing to take 25 cents and pay 25 cents for a locate is because he knows that in the past, this has yielded big time for him. So that's his data analysis, his historical data analysis. So this is the thing that you have to do as a trader. Start tracking your own stats. Okay? Each play, start tracking. Okay? Make a journal, Excel spreadsheet. We do that in the room for you by archive. So for annual and lifetime members, we've archived every single post within MIC. I think it's over 1 million posts now that we archived. And you can go back and search. So the next time SAEX runs, type in SAEX. It'll spit out all the charts. And Alex posted his chart that he traded today. Members posted their charts. If I traded that stock, I posted my charts. Charts meaning with our prints, our trades, not just our calls. Correct? Calls are meaningless, guys. How we traded and what he did. And so the next time it runs, the analysis is there. You can use that as a guide. And that's why it's very powerful. Okay, take notes or join MIC, which has the archive. The next time it runs, I'm going to pull that sucker up and see how it performed. And to check out the lines to see if it matches. Because history often repeats itself, guys. Whew. Any questions on the shorting side? I don't want to get into any more detail because I don't want to confuse you, but there's a process I go through. I pull up so what I do is this. I have a scanner. You do not need a scanner, okay? Scanner costs me like A lot of money a month, like $150, where the hell it is, right? And I look at that maybe 5 minutes in the morning a day. Because everybody has a scanner. So if you want to save money, get rid of your scanner, join MIC, because MIC has freaking 800 scanners. Each person that trades within there is a scanner. So we share all our information already. So you do not need a scanner, guys. Save that fucking money for your membership, for your education, for your trading account. And so the first step is to see what's moving, and then I do my process. I do the same routine all the time. I look at the news on FinViz to see why the news is up, because I'm trying to paint a picture. Then I look at the chart to see the resistance lines, the support lines, pivots, all that stuff. I call those the family of lines. Basically, I'm doing my chart analysis, technical analysis, another word for it. Then I look at the filings to see if I can get a clue, to see if there is overhang, if there's inventory, supply that could be dumped into the public. Is it diluting? Is this a history? Is this a history of a stock that does a lot of dilution? And that's a clue. That's a pig. That's what we mean by a pig. So there's a term that we use for shorting. It's a pig, meaning it's well fed. It's diluted. Well fed, fat pig. So we want this pig to fly so that they have meat on the bone. Then we fucking skin it. Sorry, vegans. Whew. Where do you find the news? On FinViz, on Yahoo, on Google. We're in a chat room. In our chat room, we have guys posting the news. All right, guys. I'm going to stop there because I did a lot of talking on the shorting. Any questions? I want to answer your questions on short selling. But the key, remember, the inverse or longs, the key is to wait for the top or bottom to confirm, and then you scale into that. And place your stop. Always place your stop. The first thing you do is before you enter a trade, you got to plan it. You got to know where to enter. Are you scaling in? Where are you scaling? How many is your max size? What is your size target? Don't just randomly get in. And part of that, which people do not do, is predefine your risk. But what I mean by predefine your risk is figure out how much you want to lose and then do the math to exit so you don't get blown out of the water. Many different layers of risk control. I call it layering risk. Okay, you can layer risk through price. If it breaks a certain price, you exit. You can do max dollar amount loss, max loss. I like to also employ max size. Max size will keep me out of trouble from getting 100, keep adding to infinity. Okay, I used to add to infinity because I had a huge account, but it fucking works until it doesn't work, and then you die on things like KRTX. So now, with experience, you learn. You have a max size, and so it's like an allowance. Imagine if your allowance is infinite, you're going to fucking keep spending. But if you have $10 or 1,000 shares to allocate, you're going to be more judicious. You're going to be more frugal on where to add. Because you only have 1,000 shares. I can either add 5 times 200 shares each, or I can add 2 times 500 shares each. It's up to you to do the math. Alex likes to do 30% rule on the front side of his max size, just to get the itch out, right? So sometimes I just take a tiny ass size just to get the fucking itch out, man. So example is 10,000 is my max size. I like to scratch my itch with 1,000 shares. It's not gonna hurt me 1,000 shares. It has to go with $1 to lose 1,000 bucks. But it just kind of itches, and I want to be in the, And so it doesn't mean you just hit it right away. You hit it on maybe the inner line instead of the outer line. And so we have a great concept we call the inner and outer lines, and that basically is our system of knowing where the stock moves, and we call it line to line. The movement of these stocks always goes from line to line, resistance to resistance, support to support, things like that. And anything in the middle, I call that noise. So I don't want to be fucking around within the middle noise shit. So when it comes to my line, that becomes what I call the area of interest. And the area of interest, then I look further into the level 2 and the prints, and that's how I know if I should enter a long or a sell. But the thing is, remember this, guys. A short is nothing but a sell. A long is nothing but a buy. And so at each area of interest or each line, I'm determining whether I'm buying or I'm selling. I'm not considering shorting or going long. Is it a buy or is it a sell? And so if you keep those kind of concepts, you will, I think, stay out of trouble, because too many people in the beginning always think, oh, you're long or short. Each line basically is an area of interest that determines whether or not it's a buy or a sell. Okay, depends on whatever factors that goes into it. And so, because if you're long and it hits that line, you could do this. You can either sell some or add to a winner. And that's why I keep saying, don't think of a line as either a short or a long, because it's going to screw up your trading. Think of it as a buy or a sell, depending on strength, volume, all that stuff, right, guys? So, and that's how you are able to add to a winner. And then each time you're adding to a winner, you should move your stop loss so that you keep the gains. So basically, you can do a couple things. You can do a trailing stop loss. I do mental, but I do that because I'm experienced. But if you're not experienced, God put in the hard physical stops, guys. Market makers are not going to sweep you. They're not going to sweep you. And if they do, it's still fucking going to save your ass. Whew. Hey, what's CLVS at, guys? Yeah, part of the filing. You can check for warrant. You can check for anything you want. Like I said, man, some people are better at filings. I am not a filings expert. I defer that to other people within the room to help me. You know, I'm more of a technical guy, so I would help them with the resistance lines and all that stuff, and my read on the level 2 and the tape. So this is why a trading accountability, a tab, a group like that helps, because you can split up the work. Some guys love to read filings. I hate to read filings. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are very good at it. Some other guys are not very good at the mathematical, technical side of it, which I am better at. And so we divide the work. That's why a tab is so important, guys, because there's so much to learn. And the tab will fucking, as a group, will help you guys. Damn, CLVS 727. I shorted that thing at the very top, near the 820 line too. Shit. It's okay. But like I said, so one thing you have to overcome is this FOMO. My job as a day trader, guys, I spoke about that, is to make money the easiest, the least stress possible. I'm not there to become the champion. I'm not there to top tick and bottom tip and be the hero. I'm there to fucking make a living, get in and get the fuck out and go on my walk, go on my hike, go live my fucking life. The reason why you want to trade for freedom. But yet these guys, which included me, would sit in the room all fucking day and overtrade. Sure, I could make more money, but you know, I guess in the beginning it's okay because you study, you learn that. But then over time, it's like, if you know yourself and you know you sit around and you're gonna get antsy and bored and forced to trade, don't fucking remove yourself. Don't fucking sit there. Remove yourself. And that's where a tab comes in. Fucking get on a Skype call with a tab all day. It's free, man. Get on a fucking FaceTime, whatever. Turn this into a trading pit. And that's my whole intention of a trading accountability buddy, a tab. It's to mimic these trading firms. You know, the firm guys, they all trade together. They don't just sit in an office. They are in a giant fucking open space calling out, hey, Trump is coming up. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because no one's going to, you know, more eyes, the better. Or, hey, guys, watch out, man. Fucking, there was a fucking price target increase by Goldman. Be fucking careful. You know, you miss a lot of that stuff. Or offering, you know what I'm saying? On this stock. Get in. So, you know, get yourself a fucking tab. And that's how you exponentially learn, guys. That's how you exponentially learn. Shit, I gotta walk back. Alright, guys, I'm gonna bring someone on. Anybody want to get on and ask a question? I love these parts. We're gonna talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Any aspiring guys want to learn anything? You around, Alex? Let's see if I'm missing any topics that we can talk about. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Raise your hand. You want to get in, man. I'll bring you guys on a split screen. So we review the most simple way to short sell is to wait for the top to form and to scale and short the bounces. Okay? That's how you avoid trying to cherry pick and getting ran over on the front side. If you have to itch yourself with 1/10 of your size just so that you can satisfy your itch. But you know what I'm saying? So you also have to learn the concept of an inner outer line, in my opinion. And that's the method that we teach. And the concept is very simple. Inner line, you can feel pretty easily, but at what cost? You may be too early. That's what we call the inner line. The outer line is you may never feel, but when you feel, there's a higher chance that it's going to be successful. Outer line, inner line. Outer line is like out of the money, way out of the money. Inner line is like closer to the money. So it's a balance between feeling and not feeling. And that's why I like scaling. So when people look at my charts, they go, oh, what the hell is that? You know, there's a method to my madness. I like to hit some on the inner just to get in, but it's a smaller size. And I save my bullets for the outer lines. Or you want to play really safe, you just wait for the outer line. So you fucking never feel. But now your win rate, your success dollar amount is higher. So that's what's called supplementing your income, guys. I want to touch on that if no one wants to get on. I want to touch upon supplementing your income because this mentality has saved a lot of traders, including myself. Because we always think that we need $1 million. I'm like a broken record. I said this a million times, but it's something that needs to be said every single day to yourself. People think you need $1 million to be life-changing. Nah, dude. Being able to buy a tomahawk steak every day is life-changing. I posted that photo of the tomahawk steak. It was like $170, right? People go, damn, you must be a millionaire to buy that shit. $170, guys. So, what that translates into, can you make $200 a day trading? That is life-changing. To be able to buy a tomahawk steak every day, if you like, that is life-changing. Life-changing does not mean $1 million, buying a Lambo. Life change to me is being able to live your fucking life. And that's why I call it supplement your income. Keep your job. Just make an extra few $100 a day. And it will fucking change your life. You don't need to buy a hot tomahawk steak every night. You can save that money and buy a house. Buy rental property. Whatever the hell it may be. But I'm just using that as an example. If people do not understand, $200 a day. $100 a day extra. Supplement your income is life-changing money, guys. You know, the more I go out of my little shell, meaning like my little area, my friends, and when I just walked around yesterday, I walked around downtown, I saw how normal people live. You know, some people are struggling. It fucking puts shit in perspective, man. You know, like, fuck, man, all this shit we fucking try to, you know, superficial shit is not, man, it's not reality. And that's why we become very sad. And that's why people blow up. Traders blow up because they get greedy. They're thinking all or nothing. They would have $1 million or zero. Why not just drive for the $200 a day? $200 will turn to $500. That's how I started. I didn't make $500. I started making $200 a day, $300 a day very consistently. Then I increased my size and soon I was like trading large. But it was not overnight. It took a long time, many years, guys, like Alex. And Alex now has reduced his size. You know, he realized that having a large size all the time is not proper. You size up when it's a good setup. When it's a marginal setup, don't size up. How can you start trading? How much to start? What's that page, Alex? If you go to myinvestingclub.com, there is a roadmap link. I'm going to post it on my Twitter too. Go to myinvestingclub.com. There's a roadmap and it will tell you exactly how to get started trading. There's a roadmap tab, or you go to myinvestingclub.co to see the webinar. But there's a new feature called roadmap within myinvestingclub.com website. Any more questions, guys? This is something that we wanted to do for everybody. Too many, because like hardest thing in my opinion is to get started trading. Once you know how to trade, you know, like then you can do advanced stuff, and you really don't, you know, you're on your own kind of shit, right? But getting started is the hardest thing I've ever done. It's just so much to learn, and so that's why we focus on that niche. The niche that I like to do is to teach the masses how to get started trading. Okay, and then members help members, and that was the whole idea behind my investing club. And I'm so glad that the members are great, and that's what we're doing right now. So check out the roadmap for those. All right, Justin Kenny. Let me try to get him on. Justin Kennedy. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey. Tell everybody who you are and all that good stuff.
Name's Justin Kennedy. I've actually been on here before. This was like a couple weeks ago, but I'm back on.
Welcome back, man.
Thanks, man.
So where are you from again? I'm so sorry, man. My memory's so bad.
I'm from Canada, New Brunswick.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. You're not in MIC, right?
Yeah, I did the MIC for a couple months there. And I'm saving up a bunch of money, and I'm going to invest all of it and then try to get in the chat room again, because I'm in the transition of getting a new day job.
Okay.
So I got to actually get money, and then I can trade with it. So I just have a question about how much money do you think is a good amount to start trading with for a small account?
You're very lucky because you are not in USA. You are not subjected to pattern day trader. So you've already fucking shit, dude. Think about it, okay? If you're able to not be restricted, even with a $3,000 account, you can do 1,000 shares, make 10 cents. That's $100.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So people think you need a big account. No, what you need to do is be a sniper. So when you're doing that, just wait for the right entry to get in. And if you have the proper entry, everything else is much easier. Okay? The problem with the guys that have the pattern day trader restriction is they're limited to a few trades a week, and so they feel like they're forced to hold because they don't want to waste a trade. And it fucks everybody up, man. I hate that fucking rule, because now you cannot trade naturally. If you wanted to get out and scalp, you cannot with a pattern day trader, because then you lost one of your 3 trades that you could do a week, right? And so I rather, in my opinion, if I was restrained, I would tell the guys, fuck your 3 trades. Make money is better than fucking holding on to a fucking loser. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather make money 3 times a fucking week, grow my account to the point where I can open another account. So the trick for the USA guys, the trick is to open multiple accounts. So now you have 2 accounts instead of 1, and now I have 6 trades a week instead of 3 trades. But Justin, you're fortunate. You're outside the country. You can open up an account that you can short right away with just $3,000, dude.
Yeah.
And so focus on, in my opinion, to become consistent first. Work on your process. You're fortunate enough to be able to trade a lot, but just because so another caveat here, guys, be careful. I have a lot of traders that go from pattern day trader to non-restrictive because they made money, and then they go, wow, but then I started over trading. So you have to be careful about the fact that just because you're able to trade all the time does not mean you should trade all the time. So they were making money because they were very selective, right? If you only have a handful of trades, you're more selective. So be careful in that aspect. When you can start doing anything you want to do, you want to do it. So you still have to maintain that discipline.
Yeah, for me personally, I've been going long just because I want to master that side before I start shorting.
That is completely fine. And to order to short well, actually, you have to understand the long too. So that's completely fine. And you notice 10 cents. 20 cents. It adds up, man. 20 cents. 1,000 shares. You can make 20 cents on 1,000 shares of these $2 stocks.
It sucks, though. I think I funded Trade Zero with at least 3 accounts. Each account was about $700 to $800, so it was a very, very small account. And I don't believe that's enough of a cushion to actually start trading. So I pretty much blew all 3 of those accounts up. And now I'm back to paper trading.
You can't.
No, it's impossible, man.
Yeah, because the commissions will fucking burn you.
I tripled the accounts though. I ran it up to a couple thousand, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is easy!" And I just kept blowing up because I had 6-to-1 leverage, so I used that to my advantage. Ended up blowing them up.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Yeah, man.
The reason why you're dipping into the leverage because you're adding to a loser.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so leverage is bad because most people don't use leverage to add to a winner. They only use it when they're in trouble. They're trying to get out of a troubled situation. And that's why they blow up.
I'd like to at least have 4,000 US that I could fund with. I think that's a good amount to start with. But, Now I've just been,
I would even say 3,000. It depends. You start with 500 shares to learn. Remember, in the beginning, it's this, man. Use smaller size to learn.
definitely.
Because if you start just a large account right away, you're basically now using bigger money to learn. Why not use smaller money to learn? The goal of a tiny account is not to make money. You're not gonna, believe it or not, man. These gurus are doing the small account challenge are bullshit. They try to tell you that you can turn a $500 account to $1 million account.
I got suckered into doing that 3 times.
So that's why you're blowing up.
Yeah.
So the thing that I keep preaching people is like when you're with a $500 account, it's to basically to learn, to become consistent. And then after you become consistent, then you start putting more money in as you save, right? And then you can use larger size. So it's very dangerous to think that you're going to grow that, because then it becomes gambling, because that account size is small enough where you can just break every rule and say, I don't give a fuck. It's only $500.
Yeah.
And so you never, ever learn the right way to trade, because your mentality is always trading is gambling. I'm going to get fucking lucky on 5 trades and then quadruple my money.
Yeah. I think paper trading is essential. Like that's what I've transitioned to, just because I want to get consistent before I fund another account. And even like just the progress I've made is pretty sick. Like I actually took a long on SAEX and I made a decent amount of gain. Like I waited for it to catch the bottom at 280. It was like 283. And I saw these buyers on ARCA and these buyers on NASDAQ, and they just kept, they were hiding size the whole time, and they were being aggressive. And the bidders kept getting taken out, but then they got right back. Like they got wiped out, came right back. So I just took a long, I think like 290, and I just waited for the push up to 330. I sold most of my shares there, held some for 340, and I sold it. So it's like a 60-cent gain almost.
My advice to you is this, though. Don't stay on paper trading too long.
Yeah.
Because you are going to get biased, and not biased, but you're going to get like instant fills, where in the normal thing you won't get the instant fills, right?
Yeah,
so you won't know what to do. So my advice to everybody is this: paper trading should be used to learn the mechanics and to learn whatever back test your strategy, whatever. But move on to the real account, but use tiny size. Because even 100 shares tiny size is going to mimic the real emotions. You're down fucking $100, and you can't feel. You're pissed off. What do? You know what I'm saying? Whereas you're not as emotional with a paper trading account.
Okay. One last question for you, Bao. Do you prioritize lines or level 2 and tape reading? What do you think is more important?
Lines and charts. So this is how I do it. Okay. I look at the historical chart to figure out my lines, and then I use a year, then zoom in 6 months, 3 months. Basically, start using different time frames to see what clues you can get. And then when the stock goes to that line, I call it the area of interest, and then I look at my level 2. Okay. And everything else in the middle is all fucking noise, anyways. So I don't need to stare at the screen all day long, because if you keep staring at it, you get all fucked up. Only look at it. You can set an alert. You can do whatever. When it comes near your line, you can set an alert, and then you can go back and take a look at it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Cool, brother.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Bao.
Yeah, good luck, man. Good luck.
Good luck.
Have a good one. Well, that was pretty cool. I hope we got, so that answered a lot of the newer trader questions, which is great. He's doing fantastic, which is great. But you need a minimum amount of money. These guys, these frugal guys are doing these small account challenges so that they can get you to buy their program. It's fucking funny. You pay for their program $7,000, and then you have a $2,000 account. Like, what the fuck? It should be the other way around. You should say have a $7,000 account and pay for a $2,000 program. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. It's fucking so fucking weird to me. When you're paying $7,000 for a program and you have $2,000 trade account. That's why we price it really low, guys. I don't want you guys to fucking pay me $7,000 and have a $2,000 account. Our annual is only about $1,800, and then you can have a $7,000 trading account. Cool, guys. I want to let you guys go. I want to keep it short and sweet, and then we'll see you guys online, man. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.